Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everybody's doing well and staying safe during this pandemic. On to the video. Today, I'd like to discuss China, the center of this entire situation, this virus, the origins of the Wuhan virus, COVID-19, whatever name you want to give it. If you are a sensitive person or somebody that takes offense easy to anything that people say, or you want to make something out of nothing, this is not the video for you, so just don't watch. Just exit. I would like to discuss mainstream media. As soon as some incident happened here in the United States to some Asian Americans, with in regards to people mistreating them because of the virus, mainstream media ate it up. It was in every news network calling it out, talking about how hateful people are and it's unacceptable. Asian Americans came out. They said it was awful and how could this happen to them? And it was wrong. It shouldn't have happened. People should not attack people because of their race. I completely agree. It should be called out. We don't accept things like that around here. We call it out. Does it happen? Absolutely. But it's not something that is just accepted widely, where it just happens and people just like clap for it and appreciate it. When the president said it was the China virus, this was called a racist thing. How could he say that? That is so racist. He's bringing hurt to the Asians and especially Chinese people. The Chinese government came out and had something to say about it. All because he just named the source of where the virus actually came from, which we have done with many other diseases. Not even where they came from, just even the first cases being reported. Like the Spanish flu didn't start in Spain, but they were the first country to go ahead and call out the start of it, and so it was, named the Spanish flu. Ebola, the West Nile. There's so many different diseases that are called the West Nile, whatever. It's never been called racist. It's never been called out. So why is it such an issue now when it's called China virus? Wuhan, you can call it Wuhan virus, the Chinese virus, whatever. The point is, it's not to call out the people, it's to call out the origin of the virus. And there is absolutely nothing racist about that. So you can't be offended over one thing, but not over the other. If we're going to be offended, let's please be consistent with our offenses. Now, moving on to China itself. Why is mainstream media not discussing real racism, bigotry, and xenophobia that's happening in China? And that's increasingly getting worse day by day because the Chinese government cannot accept responsibility. And although originally they reported that the virus started in Wuhan, they saw that the reaction to that was not so good. So they decided to want to change the narrative, right? So first it was, oh, it started in the United States. Some soldiers from the US brought it. It's a conspiracy. That didn't work out too well for them. So then they said it was from Italy. That didn't work out too well for them. So now they're trying to say it's from Africa. And what appears to be happening is that the CCP, the Chinese government, is telling their people in China, but you have to remember, in China, there is no freedom of the press. Everything is state-sponsored media. So everything that the people hear, everything that the people get is through the government. So what they are being fed is that the foreigners brought this virus in. The foreigners are here and they are infesting the population with these diseases because they are disease foreigners. You have in China notices posted on doors of restaurants, medical facilities, hotels, foreigners not allowed. Foreigners not allowed. And when these people who have lived in China for their entire life, their life is there, go to do everyday activities, yet they are being told they're not allowed to enter. Why? Because you're a foreigner. But that's racist. No, it's not. We have the right to do what we please. That's what they're getting told. And nobody's reporting on this. They've escalated since then just from the signs. Now they are just telling people they cannot even go back into apartment that they have rented and paid for. And these are not people that left and came back to China. These are people that have stayed from the beginning of the epidemic to the quarantine all the way until now. So what they're doing is shifting the blame. You see how they do? Shift the blame. So it was, oh, this came from the US, and now let's go ahead and make it seem like it came from foreigners. Not just the US, but all over. I saw recent videos of them specifically targeting Africans. Now I'm assuming this because the continent of Africa and the countries there are more vulnerable. They don't have the same kind of power that, like, say, other countries have. So they're forcing African students, like orders came out from the government in email form to students there, telling them that they need to be tested. Not a suggestion, by the way, that they'll be tested whether they like it or not. You have Africans being thrown out of their apartments and sleeping outside because they're not allowed to get a hotel room. The little notices now includes no foreigners, especially Africans. Why is this not being reported? Why is this not being reported? I cannot understand how the media works nowadays. Simple things that don't mean much, that are really not that big of a deal, they like to report on all day, every day. But then when it comes to real racism happening in China towards foreigners of all kinds, and then targeting a specific group of people and doing it even 10 times worse to them, you hear crickets from the media. There's absolutely no reporting on it. Absolutely no reporting on it, and it's disgusting. All the governments of all foreign people living in China need to step up. They need to step up, they need to call out the Chinese government, and they need to let them know that if you're going to treat our people like this, we're going to get them out, and you can get your people out of all of our countries. Now, I know that sounds extreme, but that's the only way to fix this. Because if they are allowed to continue mistreating foreign people just because of the fact that they're foreigner, and then other countries, anytime something happened to a Chinese person, they call it out, they throw a pity party for them and make it seem like just, oh, how badly they're treated. It's never going to be addressed. It has to be called out. If they want respect in other places and they want to be treated with the high utmost respect, then they need to do the same for other people. If they're not capable of doing that, stop coming to other countries. Stop interacting with other people. And stop covering stuff up and report it. Report stuff when it happens. If there's a virus that started in your country, report it to other countries around the globe so that way they can prepare. And so that way not the amount of deaths that we've seen possibly could have been prevented. This is just so irritating and upsetting, and I would hope that the government will step up and say something, not just sleep on it. I'd like to hear from you. What do you think about this? What do you think about the racism happening in China? Try to go and look up the videos. Just look at videos. You'll see it's all over social media of Chinese people, Chinese government treating foreigners like shit, mistreating them, disrespecting them, depriving them of services, normal essential services. Imagine this happening in the United States. Imagine it happening in Canada, Germany. Imagine it happening in Africa. Imagine the reaction that we will get if this was happening to a Chinese person in any of these countries I've listed, and tell me that would be a quiet situation where no major news media would be talking about it. Leave your comment below. If you like this video, please do leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.